Hey everyone, Dave Guerra here, This Vet Cooks, and welcome. It's another episode 4, and this time we're outside. I told you we'd be outside. So what are we doing today? We're going to do bratwurst. We're going to do bratwurst on a rocket stove. If you've never cooked on a rocket stove or you don't know what a rocket stove is, you're in for a treat. So let's get started. All we're going to need is some bratwurst, cast iron skillet, some beer, and that's it. Oh, and some heat, fire. That's it. That's all we need. So come on, let's get started. Now, before we really get underway, I want to invite you to follow us on our social media accounts. You're watching us here on YouTube, but also follow us on Facebook, This Vet Cooks, also on Twitter at This Vet Cooks, and on Instagram, This Vet Cooks. So please like, subscribe, and follow. Hey, also, if you are a 90 Day Fiancé, Survivor, MTV Challenge, Big Brother fan, and you like the show and you like talking about the show, then let me invite you to watch my brother's YouTube channel. Him and his wife, they do a weekly talk show called Talking Shenanigans, and it's on the tube. Check it out, and the link is here. This is what the show looks like on YouTube, and visit that. Enjoy it, like it, subscribe. Well, first off, what is a rocket stove? A rocket stove, according to Wikipedia, is an efficient and hot-burning stove using small diameter wood fuel. Fuel is burned in a simple combustion chamber containing an insulated vertical chimney, which ensures almost complete combustion prior to the flames reaching the cooking surface. Rocket stove designs are most often used for portable stoves for cooking, but the design is also used for large fixed stoves in institutions and to make rocket mass heaters for heating. So as I mentioned, we're going to need a cast iron skillet. Really, any cast iron skillet. If you have a brand new one, follow the rules to season it. But once you got that, just go ahead, put it right over the flame, kind of what I'm doing here on top of the bricks, get in some room, and let it sit there. Let that come up to temperature. Let that heat up a little bit. Now, the beer that I'm using is called Altstadt Kolsch, Kolsch. It's a premium German-style beer, exceptionally smooth, refreshing, and balanced. Born in Fredericksburg, Texas, immersed in German history, made with only pure Texas Hill Country water and German hops, malts, and yeast. So just basically pop it open and then pour some into the hot skillet and let that come up to temperature as well. And let's see what we do next. Now, the brats that we're using today are Johnsonville brats. Again, it's, I guess, because of the whole COVID-19 thing that's going on. My other brats that I would normally get are not available, but the Johnsonville is delivering. Johnsonville's Johnny on the spot. So we're using Johnsonville Originals. And we're just going to do 3 this time. But we're also going to do 3 of the Johnsonville beer brat in the originals. I guess they're others. But the beer brats, we're going to try those out as well. So we're going to do 3 of those. Hey, something that caught my eye. I don't know when they started doing it. Maybe it's just, the forest for the trees kind of situation. But look at this packaging design, right? It curves, it's concave and convex. Anyway, so it should be interesting. Let's put those on as well. So as we let the beer come up to temperature, then we added the brats. You're going to need to add more beer, and you'll add more beer to the skillet as necessary, as needed. Just keep an eye on it, but don't overdo it. Don't add too much so it gets cold, and then it's got to really work its way back up. So with all of that in, we're going to still need to keep stoking the fire. We got to keep adding more fuel because, one, the sticks aren't that big, so they're going to burn quickly, and it's burning hot. So it's really going to burn faster and it's going to burn hotter, obviously. So keep adding fuel to that fire. You're going to need it. If it goes out, you got a little leeway, but get it going. So as we zoom in on the brats and they're in the skillet, the cast iron skillet, you're going to see these ash particles. Don't worry about it. That just comes, it's just a natural byproduct. It's the burnt wood. It's fine. There should have no issue. It's not going to add or take away from the flavor. Kind of enhances it in the sense that, hey, you're cooking it outdoors, and that's the fun of cooking outdoors. So don't worry about it. Enjoy it. Okay, so it's been several minutes. I sped things up here for the video purposes, but it's been several minutes that the brats have been in the skillet. And now it's time to do that first turn. Don't worry if it doesn't look like they're cooking. They're cooking. Don't worry. If you got that heat and steam's coming off of that beer and things are looking good and you can feel the heat, it's cooking. Don't worry about it. So give it that first turn. So let me tell you about how I first discovered bratwurst. Actually, in Texas, when we do barbecue, there's always sausage on the grill, right? And so when I first went to Germany, when I landed in Berlin, right off the bat, man, you got to try these bratwursts. You got to go get the brats. You got to get the bratwurst. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So everybody highly recommended it. Everybody was already there 5 minutes before me. And sure enough, they had these little stands, street vendors, and it was called an Imbiss. And we ordered bratwurst, bratwurst and a little small roll, long bratwurst, small roll, and then some mustard. You dip it in there. Oh, man, I was hooked. I'm still hooked. I'm addicted. So it's been a couple of minutes, and now we're ready for our second turn. Now, as you're doing this, you're going to be able to identify the hot spots on your skillet. So rotate the bratwurst accordingly. If you see one that's not cooking as much as the other ones, it will rotate them around, move them around. But now is the time for the second turn. Okay, so there it is. You've rotated it. Now it's on its second turn. You see where the hot spots are. At this point, again, you've got to keep your eye on the flame, the heat. Keep adding that fuel, keep adding those sticks. And now you're starting to see the benefits behind this rocket stove. It doesn't take a lot of fuel. And the only thing that you have to keep doing is adding the fuel, adding the sticks. But other than that, these are small sticks. Get them anywhere, find them anywhere. And it's easy to set up, it's easy to run. But again, what comes out of this is awesome. And it's strictly, you're not going to use this to generate heat, to warm yourself up in the woods. But you're going to use this to cook with. Wait until you try boiling water with this. It's awesome. Hey everybody, I want to take a moment and talk to you about, well, again, what's important, and it's important to all of us, all veterans, and it's important to me, and that's why I want to talk about it. That's the Veteran Crisis Line. And again, if you need anything, they're experiencing something and it just doesn't feel good, call. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-273-8255. And once the automated attendant answers, press the number 1. Now, they also have where you can text 838-255, text to that number, or you can also connect online. So you go to veteranscrisisline.net, there's a chat button, and you can connect with them online. And again, no matter what you're experiencing, there is support to getting you back, getting your life back on track, getting yourself back on track, and making things happen. Now, who's on the other side of this? Well, it's a trained responser who's going to answer your call, your text, your chat, and ask you a few questions just to make sure they send you to the right person if they need to send you to somebody else. But again, it's there. It's here. It's there. No matter what it is, if you're feeling anxious or you're alone or you're thinking about those horrible thoughts, well, guess what? It's ask for help. It doesn't hurt in asking for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. What is wrong is when you know you're hurting and you don't ask for help. So again, 1-800-273-8255. Press 1 when they answer, please. So the bratwursts are almost done. The question is, what does this pair with? What can you drink with the bratwurst? Well, you're going to serve the bratwurst with a roll and some mustard. Spicy mustard, the better. German mustard is even better. Senf, S-E-N-F. But what works is beer. Beer. Any beer. Doesn't matter. Bratwurst and beer, that's it. So now, you've been hearing me talk. You've been seeing me turn things around and stuff like that. But we're going to listen. What you hear in the background is the sizzling of the bratwurst, the rocket stove, and some ambient background noise. But just listen to the sizzle. Listen to the bratwurst. It's awesome. It's fantastic. And most of all, it's going to be delicious. Mm-hmm. Well, there's the bratwurst on a bun, little German potato salad on the side, some mustard, the Altstadt Kolsch German-style beer. I'm Dave Guerra, and This Vet Cooks.